Hey Internet, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the Jongravesshow, talking to everybody about a very interesting anime called Erased. And what is going on in Erased? Well, apparently it seems to start out pretty normal, you know, of like a average 29-year-old guy who lives alone and pretty much just has an average job, who pretty much has dreams of being a manga artist, and then, you know, every company in which that he submits his manga to, they always, you know, tear his works up in front of him and says that it's not good enough. To which that, you know, pretty much seems like a very normal story. It isn't until one day when like he's delivering a pizza to where that he kind of gets thrust about 5 seconds back in time to where that he kind of has to sort of see or fix little pocket problems in the world. In this case, his first thing, like the first jump that we see, he goes back in time, and one of the a truck driver had a heart attack in the car, and in his truck, and while it was still moving, and pretty much he had to stop him from hitting a child. So pretty much, of course, he turns around and he moves the car over, except for now he hits another car and he was in the hospital for upwards of 2 days with pretty minor wounds. So that's kind of how his powers work. And then after that, after pretty much like he up and explains his power and all the rest of his other stuff, we kind of get into the meat problem of this series, which seems to kind of be one of the bigger things which can be revolving around this anime, which is the fact that there's a serial kidnapper out there, and he's kidnapping children, and of course, you know, doing the Freddy Krueger thing, which really isn't a good thing, minus the whole minus the whole glove and all that. But either way, he does seem to like to frame people, and he's really good at it. To where that how the story kind of portrays in this first episode is that there was this guy Yuki who pretty much did hang out with the main characters, Toru. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not, but either way, Toru pretty much, he hung out with him as a kid. He was a grown man who liked to fly planes, and then he was framed for the format of the serial kidnappings, and they kept on going. And it wasn't until he came out of a convenience store with his mother when he went back in time to where that she actually noticed that there was a kidnapper out there who was about to kidnap a child. They did stop it, but the kidnapper hunted him down, killed his mother, and framed him for it. And there's this overarching sort of like foreshadowing plot of when he was a kid, and like he could have saved this other girl who did end up getting kidnapped and so on and so forth. And you know, he did kind of blame himself for it. It wasn't until like the thing happened with his mother, which that he said, you know what? Or at least like instinctively, or at least like I guess subconsciously, he sort of went back 18 years, back to when he was in school, and now he's trying to physically try and find out like who caused the problem and who's doing these serial murders, serial kidnappings and murders. So that is something to sort of to sort of look at. Now, mind you, again, I was saying this a bit earlier, but this seems like one of those plots out there which is very, very, very suspenseful, and it's something that is built around like a going back in time aspect, which really does give you a lot of time, except for the only problem with this though is that our main character, he can't necessarily control like when he goes back in time, because I guess if he could, you know, he could sort of factor out every little thing. But either way, for like this first episode, it does seem like it's pretty interesting, and it's something that I really do want to check out more of. So yeah, until then, I do recommend that people go out, check out Erased. You know, don't watch my video all the way through, of course, but still, at the same time, I'll catch you guys on the next Jongravesshow. Please keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'm out.